Dragon Ball has skyrocketed since I last covered it 6 months ago. Now, 6 months ago, the main topic I was covering is that at the time, I felt that the market was a bit confusing for me. I was looking at different things, right? Dragon Ball is one of the largest IPs in the world. It's not Pokemon high, but it's still pretty large. Not only that, I was looking at the numbers on tcgplayer and on eBay. A lot of the sets, a lot of the cards, they had very low scarcity, meaning there was very limited supply. And yes, the volume was low, but given the amazing artwork that the cards have, the main thing I called out was it would only take a major news event for it to go boom. And what happened a couple of months ago? We know what happened, right? Everything just skyrocketed. It's obvious that the market is following the same trajectory as, Pokemon and One Piece. Everyone is following or wanting the newest, flashiest set, which does not make sense. You shouldn't allow everyone going after the same product make you want to also want it. There's people that are upset about it, that they can't afford it anymore, they feel a bit overpriced. Well, I'm here to tell you, or show you at least, a few sets it might be worth giving an extra look at. Before I continue, I do want to call something out. If you're one of those people that are just blaming scalpers for the price hikes, this video isn't for you. If you're one of those people that goes on Reddit to whine and complain about the prices and just feed off other people's emotions, this video isn't for you. Feel free to leave a thumbs down, dislike, whatever. Now, if you're here for a different perspective or get additional insights and you're a collector that, maybe might want to get a little extra information or see if you missed something, or maybe want a little push on your next purchase, or just don't know where to start because, again, everything that's nice and flashy and making headlines is too expensive, it might be worth staying. Again, these sets that I'm about to call out, they're not the flashiest, newest ones that everyone's wanting. 4 sets that I'm talking about are the original 4: Galactic Battle, Union Force, Cross Worlds, and Colossal Warfare. I do believe, and again, this is my opinion, you don't have to believe or listen to me, that these are overlooked and no one's keeping an eye on. I highly suggest you take a look at the current market out there. Take a look at tcgplayer. Take a look at eBay sales. There is very minimum amount available. It only takes a few select people to make the purchase so it could jump again. Now, no one's buying them right now. Why is no one buying them right now? I don't know. I know I've bought 1 or 2 additional Galactic Battle booster boxes because it's the very first booster box, and even if it tanks, I like having that little piece of history. Another thing that people don't realize and probably miss is that the pull rates on these sets were abysmal. For one, Galactic Battle, it was not guaranteed that you get an SPR. Correct, you heard right. An SPR, the ones you get several from and the current Master sets and Fusion World. Bandai never puts the information out there, but based on some of the videos I've seen and some of the older forums from back in the day, the pull rates to get a single SPR were about 1 in 3 booster boxes. Meaning that back then the sets usually had around 4 SPRs. You'd have to go through a full case in order to get the 4 SPRs. Now, next, Union Force, that's when the first secret rare came out. Now, the secret rares, again, pull rates were freaking abysmal. It was 1 in every around 1 in every case. And that applied to Cross Worlds and Colossal Warfare. So do the math and compare. Compare an SPR from these 4 sets that had a similar pull rate to the SCRs in Fusion World. In Fusion World, you get about 1 SCR for every 3 or 4 boxes. Just the base SCR. In these older sets, it was an SPR and 1 in every 3 or 4 boxes. Compare the prices of the SPR and secret rares. What sense does that make? Now add this. The newer sets have a higher print run than the older sets. Why? Well, because if you're a company like Bandai and you're testing out the waters with Dragon Ball and trying to see how the market reacts, you're not gonna dump millions of dollars out there, pushing out a bunch of product that nobody might buy. Yes, everyone loves Dragon Ball, but you are a company, you are making profit, you're not gonna go all in on some of these products. So the print runs were not the same as they are today. So one of the reasons, you should probably take a look at those SPRs. Not only that, look at some of the rares too. They have amazing artwork. If you take a look at some of the leaders back then, you look at tcgplayer. tcgplayer is horrible at displaying the images and how they look. Go on eBay to see, and look for different sales of some of the images of some of the cards back then, because in tcgplayer, you can never see the texture, the brightness, how the light reflects off the card. And some of the leader cards from back then, from those original 4 sets, on tcgplayer, you get the back side, or I guess the front side, that isn't so nice and flashy. The people I'm talking about here is Broly, which coincidentally, for Galactic World, happens to be at freaking low supply. Like, it's, I believe, maybe sold out at the moment, or there might be 1 or 2 available. It's like a $1 card, but the artwork is amazing. And it was one of the images that was being advertised when they were first coming out with Galactic Battle. Go next to Union Force. The first SCR, pretty sure it was Vegito. It's been going up in price. That box on its own has been going up in price. It's still, I believe, below 400 or 300. But again, these are cards that are like 9, 8 years old, almost pushing that magic 10. I don't want to say they're vintage because, 10 years ago is not a lot, but it's a big deal. You will not find many of these cards. You will not find many of these boxes. They are not going to reprint some of these boxes. So it might behoove you to get them. You might say that I'm shilling because I have 1 or 2 of each. Call it how it is. I care less. For those that look beyond that point and see some of this information helpful, don't just take my word for it. Again, go on tcgplayer, go on eBay, and look at the prices. Look at how much is available. Look at the recent sales. It's not a lot of volume because no one's freaking looking at them. They're overlooking how hard the pull rates were and how low the print runs were. I was looking at a video of some super players a day or 2 ago. They're one of the OG Dragon Ball YouTubers. Highly recommend y'all watch them. But when they said they wanted to get the very first Galactic Battle booster box, they had to pay $300 for half a booster box. Shortly after that, Dragon Ball Super had just finished. Now imagine, we have news today. Daima wasn't canon or isn't canon at the moment. They might throw it in there. But we have confirmation that it's gonna continue. Well, it's gonna start again, Dragon Ball Super, later this year. But the next part will be coming next year. Think about the hype that is going to bring. Any card that you like or enjoy, you should buy it. If you don't want to take that risk, then go put your money elsewhere. You could invest it on stocks or just buy yourself something else that you enjoy. But if you want to take the leap of faith on something that you love and enjoy like Dragon Ball, I do not believe it's too late to start collecting some of these cards. Fusion World, I do think there are better options. Everyone likes that it's going up in price. Some people hate that it's going up in price. If you have funds and then you enjoy the card and care less if it goes down, then buy it. But if you're a bit more strict on money and are simply just looking at some cards to collect, take a look at some of the first few sets. It doesn't have to be the 4 that I mentioned, but there's a lot more options out there than what everyone's raving and talking about. Yes, $1,000 boxes, make headlines and everyone's looking at them. That's maybe when you should shift toward what no one's looking at. If you are risk adverse and don't mind and buy some of the older cards, older sets, just let them sit. That's what I'm doing. Worst case scenario, I have booster boxes that I enjoy, booster boxes that I have a little bit of history of, and that's it. I still think for me, it's money well spent. For you, look at what goals you have. If you're one of the players, one thing I do not understand is why the player base is so upset. I wanted to take a quicker look, and I was looking at some of the decks that are meta right now in Fusion World. And there's some sites out there that collect and see what's being played the most, make it easy for you to buy on tcgplayer. And most of those decks, you could get a competitive decks you could build for under $50. Now, if you want it flashy and nice, then yeah, it's gonna come for a bigger price. But if it's not affecting your gameplay, then why are you complaining? If you also like collecting, it sucks, but it's not something that you're gonna be able to change on your own. In order for something to change or people to stop buying, it has to be as drastic as, like, if you're familiar with Magic the Gathering, when they reprinted some of the original cards that they were never gonna officially reprint again, so they just made a $1,000 box with a few cards that weren't playable. Pretty much $1,000 fake cards. No one bought. It was a disaster, and that's one of the few times a whole community of players agreed to not buy something. But I don't think many of you understand the size of the market and all of these TCGs. Capitalize on the cards that no one's paying attention. Collect what no one's collecting right now. Some of these sets, as I mentioned, no one is buying, or some people care less because the sticker price isn't just there. No one's buying them, so why should I buy them? Because it makes sense. Everyone's buying them, so I should buy them too. Doesn't make much sense there, right? Another thing I want to call out about Masters. A lot of people's opinions is that the Dragon Ball card game is being carried by Fusion World. Well, the gameplay may be carried by Fusion World, I still believe there is a market for Masters. The market has usually seen Masters more for the better artwork, more for collecting. And I just want you to think about the different companies in the past that held the Dragon Ball license and made cards, and where are they now? I do not think that Bandai wants to make a same mistake, or Dragon Ball IP in general, to destroy another card game or just stop printing it. I honestly believe that Bandai and Dragon Ball are seeing the long-term benefits of maintaining a card game throughout the years, throughout the ups and downs, like Magic the Gathering, like Pokemon. Do not believe they're willing to take away Dragon Ball Masters. So for that reason, I think that the opinion that Fusion World is what you should be buying because it's the latest and greatest isn't the best idea to lean on. You have to look, again, from a company's perspective. Do they want to destroy, I don't want to say destroy, but mess with the consumer's confidence with Dragon Ball? People right now are so invested in these collectibles that if they take away Masters, yes, it'll affect the people that enjoy collecting Masters and playing Masters, but it will also have a ripple effect on Fusion World, in the sense that people that are highly focused on Fusion World might get the idea that the same fate might happen again to, Fusion World. What happened to Cardass in the early 2000s, Panini in the mid 2010s, to if it happens to Masters, that it will also happen to Fusion World. So, for those reasons, I don't think Masters is going anywhere. They might just, you only get like 2 sets a year, but those sets are usually bangers. And again, one thing I want to call out is, if you are familiar with serialized cards in Magic the Gathering, look at the prices of those booster boxes. Again, demand isn't there right now, but several of those booster boxes are well over $1,000. Now, how many booster boxes in Dragon Ball have serialized cards? 1. Where's the price point? Under 1,000. I got a few of those boxes below it got to that price point. I got them as soon as I saw back in early December that the market was changing. I made sure to jump in because I had a good feeling that the tide might turn and things would get better for Dragon Ball. But I do believe that the only set, History of Z, is a $2,000 box. And then we'll get to a $2,000 box around the time that the episodes after the Tournament Power start coming out. Only time will tell, and I could be wrong, y'all can make fun of me, but I just want to go on record for that. And to address the elephant in the room, I haven't made videos in like 6 months. I have a regular life outside of YouTube. October to December time frame is the busiest time at work. I have a family, and I also was doing school back then, and I just felt it was a good time to give an update. Will I be making videos more frequently? I don't know. I will try, but my thought process right now is I would try to make one once a week or maybe once a month. I don't know, but they probably will not be very well edited. I'll probably spend a lot less time doing the edits and the thumbnails because that's the part I hated the most. But I do enjoy giving my opinion and thinking that others out there like you could benefit from it. That's it. Thank you all for watching, and hopefully I don't take 6 months to make another video. Ciao.